I officially named March TBR month. I have done a TBR tag. I have done a recently acquired books. I've showed you every book on my TBR. And I've acquired quite a few books this month, and my TBR shelf is getting out of control. It already was when I shot my physical TBR video, and now it is even worse. There are even more books on there, and I know that I'm going to go to some free little libraries this week, and I know that I'm going to pick up a few more books. So it is time to do a TBR shelf organization. I have down here, that you can't really see, I'll move you down here. I have down here my BookTube spin books, so they're going to stay, but I'm going to go through all the other books on the shelf today, and I'm going to organize them better, and I'm also going to pick out a few that I can put down in my basement box books, because this shelf is getting too full and there's too many on here that I won't get to them all, or maybe don't want to read, or maybe I'm not as interested in them as when I first put them on my TBR shelf. So I'm going to put those back down in the basement box books, and I'm going to organize my shelf. It is headed towards the end of March, and while I'm doing that, I also need to pick my next book. All through March, I've been doing the March Mystery Madness readathon or read along, and I have read quite a few mystery books, and I have gotten quite a few of the prompts so far, but there are a few other prompts that I could do, so I do want to pick out another mystery for March as I am going through my shelves. I also want to put aside books for some videos. I want to do a try a chapter video, which will probably happen sometime for April. As I'm going through my TBR shelf, I figured we'll just work on that as well. I think the first thing we can do is I have a lot of magazines, sketchbooks, books up here. I was thinking also about alphabetizing, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. Some of these books were books that I was going to get rid of in free little libraries, but for one reason or another we decided to keep, but I'm not super interested in reading them right now, so I'm going to start my basement box books piles kind of over here off camera. I don't think I'm going to find any books to donate in this TBR shelf, but maybe there will be. I'm going to leave my BookTube spin books down here. I'm hoping that Rick McDonnell will do another BookTube spin soon, and I plan on using the same list. I might either add one book for the book that came out, or I might just count around. I'm not sure yet. I'm also not really sure what to do for organization, if I should organize it alphabetically or genre, if I should organize it by size. I think I'm going to have to play around with that as well. is a story set in the sleepy oyster and crab town in the Chesapeake Tidewater County, with one of the most unusual casts of characters yet encountered in contemporary fiction. The humor is broad, the prose is freewheeling. What I've got so far is Agatha Christie, which I have a lot of Agatha Christie's. I actually have a couple more to add here. Mystery, sci-fi. There's a couple that I didn't get to look at over there. Baseball. Put this down here. This goes for sci-fi. Classics. This one is, I have no idea what this is about. Comedy. This can go over here with classics. Eastern philosophy. This is a translated work, Japanese translated work, so I'm going to put that over there as well. These are books by authors of color, and then down here is kind of children's books and 3 hardcovers that I don't want to put downstairs, but I'm probably not going to read. And then this huge stack that you can't see is nonfiction. So it makes sense to put the mysteries with the Agatha Christie's, I think. So what I did was I put my Agatha Christie's here, and then these are all mysteries, and then I did put the Eastern Studies here. So, and I have 1 translated work up here as well. I know that I have enough books that's gonna like fill this space. I then moved all my nonfiction to here. I have my authors of color here right in the center, so I can definitely reach for those and pick those out. I have a little tiny comedy section. I really don't know what this book is. I just kind of stuffed it in there. And then I have a classic section and a baseball section. So I have this group here that are kids books or like young adult books, but I don't know if I want to keep these. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get to them. So let me just go through these really quick. This one is obviously very short. I did want to read The Cat Abroad. I almost read this last year for a yellow prompt. North's Myths. I would kind of like to get this as well. I think I'll stick this over by Eastern Studies, even though it's not the Far East. I loved Francesca Leah Block, especially when I was a teenager. I don't see myself reading these, so I'm going to put them in my basement box books. And then my last 2 young adult are Time Cap by Lord Alexander and this book, which is very beautiful. And it is called The Animal Family by Randall Jarrell, illustrated by Maurice Sendak. So I kind of would like to keep this one. It's at least to look at. So I'm going to put that one here, and I'm going to put this one here too. These are going to be a little bit of like outliers, but young adult or children's books. My BookTube spin books are here. They're not in order, and they do reach all of the genres that are already on my TBR. So there is a bunch of nonfiction, there's some metaphysical studies, there's fiction, there's classics, there's sci-fi, there's mysteries. So I'm just gonna kind of organize them a little bit nicer. We're on my red shelf, but I haven't actually read them. I think what I might do with these is like tuck them up here. I mean, not ideal, but you know. I'm putting A Clockwork Orange under sci-fi because it's dystopian, which is close enough. I'm also putting The Book of Merlin under sci-fi, even though it's more fantasy. I forgot that I have this little section of all Douglas Adams related books, so I'm going to put that by sci-fi. So that leaves me with this big stack. I can't see you. That leaves me with this big stack that's going to go back in the basement. So I have to find a box for that and put that away. That is looking a lot better. Oh, this one goes in here. So that leaves me with my big stack of going down the basement books. I decided that the next book I'm going to read is The Woman in Captain 10 because that does fit the number prompt for March Mystery Madness. So I'm going to go ahead and start this one today. I'm pretty excited because I've never read any Ruth Ware and I hear she's very divisive, but I have a feeling I'm going to like her work. I don't know. It's kind of long. Oh, it has like the back of this, it has like another book in it. That's exciting. That makes it a little bit shorter, which is like nice. So it's 340 pages, which is a little hefty for me, but fine. I'm going to read this one next. And then that leaves me with these 5 books of various genres. We have The Society of S, which was one of my basement books. I think it has to do with vampires. We have Maisie Dobbs, which I've had for many, many years, and it is historical fiction mystery. We have this book called The Secret Life of Cowboys, which I honestly can't tell if it's fiction or nonfiction. We have the Magdalene Martyrs, which is the second book in the Guard series, which I read many, many, many years ago. And we have A Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which I recently got from a free little library. I have no idea what it's about, and it's very long. So these 5 books, I'm going to do a try a chapter vlog with. So we will try a chapter of all 5 of these at some point and see if we like them. For now, I'm just going to put them down here. I'm going to put The Artist's Way on my DNF shelf, and I think that's about it. You can see that we have room for more mysteries. It's pretty well organized, and then at the bottom, we have that pretty well organized as well. Hopefully, by reading The Woman in Captain 10, and by doing that try a chapter, I will eliminate some more of those books. Rick McDonnell will do another booktube spin, and I'll read another one off of theirs. I'm feeling pretty good about it. There's a little tiny bit of room to grow, but not too much, so I better get reading. I hope you get reading as well. If you saw a book on here that you're like, oh my god, you have to read that book, or you're like, oh my god, do not read that book, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.